Good morning, everybody. I'm having some tech issues here. Seems Ninja Trader's data feed is not working today, but tried connecting it just to the brokerage, Interactive Brokers, but they throttle the data, so it's almost useless. So I gotta have two data feeds. Anyway, let me hook up with the other platform. Close this down. All right. Good morning. I'm not set up with this to plenty of different charts, but anyway, it's not set up cleanly for, so I don't use it for that in the morning. So, all right, let's go through what's going on here last week and today. You see markets are down a little bit. And all right, these red lines, by the way, these are marking options expirations. And one thing I mentioned in the newsletter over the weekend was after each of these options expirations recently, the markets have gone up. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to go up this time, but Friday's day was a nice wide range reversal day. So let's just see spiders. Where is that in relation to with my cursor? You can see it there. It was lower. It was gapping down to the middle part of the range. Get that out of the way. It was gapping to the middle of the range. Okay, so not that big of a deal. Grab channel. Yeah. All right, so basically, this market has been running in place uh, in trading ranges for the last several months. And you can see the daily chart, bottom of the range, top of the range, and you go back here. It's kind of 6,900. We'll look at SPX. 6,900 has been the middle of the range. And this week, right, let's see between NVIDIA, the economic data, but some interesting uh, development as far as options go. And I'm not the big options guru at all, but just seeing, let me back up for a second. You might remember last week, markets didn't move all that much. And the strikes on the downside were like down here. It was like ridiculous how far it was. And so all of these bets that evaporate on options expiration is one of the ideas that after an option expiration and all these hedges come off, and then the markets where they can get pinned, get stuck in a certain area, which is what happened. They just jiggling around here, and every time it came up around 6,900, it got backed off a little, but it closed above there. So now, and from my understanding, is it's not doesn't happen to the extent that it happened this time, meaning the markets, unless those option positions rebuild really fast, the markets basically have, let's just call it free to move in whatever direction they're going to. So I guess the news may have more of an influence as to what's going to happen. So in any event, what I do know is if it closes below that bottoming tail bar, look out below because that's a void. And after all of this time going sideways and unable to get through here or down there, this indecision will be over. So I don't know what will cause that. I mean, everybody, I think the expectations NVIDIA is going to report great earnings again. Um, we had different Fed guys talking this week, but And we know right now, markets really aren't doing much of anything. And that just continues. All right. So SPX, I can show you where things are at here. It should be interesting to see this little down move this morning where it puts our outside strike 67.75. Right at the bottom. Remember last week it was down here. So those all evaporated, right? Worthless, zero. And this is back to normal. We'll see what the top number is. And so right in the middle between the strikes. And which way it's gonna go? Well, we figure that out every day. So where's it again? That's on SPX. Okay, we know it. We know, give or take, it's about here. So as we look at the scroll this over the 65-minute chart, I know it's jiggly, right? I'm going to go back to the spiders for a second because I want to see that in the 65-minute. Yeah, I mean, it's just ping pong. Which way is it going to go here this morning? Let's look at the cues. Gapping down, not even halfway into yesterday's range. They're in a downtrend, you know, violated support, just haven't gone anywhere. So from what I read, this down move this morning is about uncertainty with tariffs, and that's not going to get resolved today. I don't think so. So the cues are gapping right in the middle of that range on the 65-minute chart. This is just stay the hell away for now. It's got to resolve itself one way or another. The Russell, you can see last week was just a flip flop back and forth, gapping down near yesterday's low. That one might be a little better. It's not great. Thinking, as a short, certainly not great. You see all those tails there, little stopping points, and you can see it's right on support. You can see on the 15-minute. Diamonds, same story. Gapping in the middle of the range there, in the middle of nowhere. Interesting. All right, nothing going on. Let's take a look at a few other markets. And I don't have futures on this platform, so cannot look at them, but we know where they are based on the ETFs. Let's see. Bitcoin, no, going nowhere. So what do we have here? Where's this thing here? Oh, look, it's coiling. This isn't about trend lines. Can't get much tighter before it breaks out or breaks down. Now, whether it breaks out and goes or down and goes, or whether it's a whipsaw, I would not trade the breakout or the breakdown. I would wait to see what it does after it moves one way or the other, right? Magnificent Seven. Come on. This had a good day, and it is well, not gapping down as much. So a lot of the magnificent stocks, they've they've been flip flopping around for the longest time. Google broke down. That's gapping down a bit. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Apple lower. Google. Google's up this morning. I had a good day. But when I say broke down, it's violated, major support. But anyway, had a good day, and that's holding up well. Tesla not doing anything. What else? Yeah, to check out interest rates. Back and forth doing a lot of nothing. And I think pretty much this morning we're just going to be uh, waiting to see if any of these markets take direction. The transports had a good day on Friday. Um, so there's plenty of positives and there's plenty of negatives and plenty of in betweens. You see, markets are coming up a little bit, not a big deal here. And yeah, I'm a little flying blind here this morning, folks. Out my other platform working. That we'll work with what we got for this morning. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Congratulations to the USA Hockey. And when last night, I saw the futures down 40. So they're cut in half from that level. And yeah, we got a big nothing going on, but yeah, I like gold also. So yeah, we put this in our ETF letter. 473 gapping up $5. So that's not excessive. So I say it's, I wish it wasn't gapping up, but that's fine to enter. That's not excessive. Let me tell the ETF people. 1 second. And I had two gold alarms go off. AU. Look at that beautiful 15-minute base, wide range. Red bar ignored, bullish weekly, bullish monthly. Zion. Regional banks, there's a lot of them that look good. KRE, it's a retest of a buy setup. We are in WT. Where are you? WT. Oh, there you are. So see how this one looks very similar. Retest of a buy setup. Railroad track 2050. That looks fantastic. KRE. A little similar, but A/B test. WTFC and Zion are better. Hotel Lima, another gold stock. I gave this as a naked put and also a breakout. So that's good to go. Let me tell advisory letter because I was giving them two half lots. And with Charlie, I have low alarm, we have a call spread on that. Atro, so yeah, these are old alarms, so that's it on alarms. Couple earnings here, not many. Yeah, Mike, the hockey game, yeah, that was great. This one gapping down $3. Shoot, I saw it gapping up a little bit this morning. And my immediate thought was that will be a great 1, 2, 3 short. Had it set up, but it's falling right now. But I got a bearish bias on that pattern. This low volume SCL shows it gapping down $4. If so, call spread candidate. FRPT 72.25, no pattern, fresh pits. Pizza Hut 407, bullish gap, but excessive, no pattern. AXSM gapping down 178, call spread. Oh, but it's therapeutics, so you better check if it's a buy or not. D Delta, that's too far from the 20. You know, we talk about buy setups following Climos have lower odds, but it is a bullish weekly monthly. So we still got the news of Iran strikes, tariff mess. Trump speaking tomorrow, State of the Union. That's like a sloppy bull flag. But bullish weekly monthly will come back to that. And Deere got a downgrade, which you know what? I respect that. I respect upgrades and downgrades when they're in alignment with the pattern. So, the majority of the time I'd be seeing idiots upgrading this now. And it'd be like, what? After it's up 200 points in a month. So that's a call spread watch, but the spreads are pretty crazy. Google got an upgrade, as I mentioned, but look beautiful. 15-minute chart. So that's a put spread idea under Friday's low. I was out Friday afternoon, but when I was reading that a lot of these cybersecurity stocks, another victim of the AI, taking away some of their job for them. So this is the ETF bug cybersecurity. Look at that fall on volume. So there's like a sale, Zulu Sierra, where I scanned the whole sector and I didn't find any to trade or call spreads, but this is a continuation breakdown. It's down a lot, but that's a closing breakdown. Let's just go to my interest list here, which actually is not very big. CDE, another mining stock, looks higher. Got that unfilled gap. I'd prefer a put spread on that one. Silver 78.40. So gold was cleaner. The A/B test is not only a cleaner pattern, but notice how this retracement was deeper. But if the sector is going to go, it could be a catch-up trade. We can scan those stocks too. D-Dog short. It's more of a day trade. Sure. Target over there somewhere into the gap. Yeah, that's a better swing. Yeah, I like that as a swing. Little descending triangle, relative weakness. And not that this is a good example, but we've been also talking about these many potential double bottoms and comparing them to continuation breakdowns. So this could have been a retest pattern right here. And look, it's not going very far. And it's a breakdown. So yeah, I like that. Let me put that on the bottom right here. Oh, this Corning here on the middle chart. I was watching that on Friday. Somebody asked about that, and I said it was a great example of relative strength. Even far from the 20, it was okay for me. And look at it gapping up in a weak market. So quite the relative strength. Kilo November, little bull rectangle. I like that it's gapping down. I got an alarm at 2760. If it is able to recover, then I will trigger that as a breakout. X-Pro, a 1, 2, 3. Nah, I don't like the reward to risk giving that as an official because that ours gets too big. But I do like it as well. I like it as a day or swing, but with a tighter stop. Start off with a day trade over this little hump right here. I'm going to set an alarm at 1790. LYB. And Alex, I did not get around to looking at your list. We can do that this morning. LYB, I like. That's a buy setup. I'll set an alarm, and I like that it's gapping down because then it has to recover. So 5620. B Bravo, another mining stock. Well, target would be the gap fill, which is actually a couple dollars. I'm gonna set an alarm, just eyeball in there. How about 48.60? The gold NGD, that's up. Yeah, that's up 4 bars. That one's close to the target. KX, that's a double bottom retest, gapping up. That looks like it didn't churn its way up here to 14. Alta, sloppy buy setup. Bullish. AU, we mentioned Hood. Okay, here's an example, a good example of a potential double bottom. You got a momentum move down, went up, you got a retest, new low reversal, and it's having a hard time. So that's not holding. Look at Mr. Look at Coin. Coin is the strongest of those three, but it's gapping down here also. IBIT, one of the many ETFs. It looked good on Friday's close, and now it doesn't. Gapping under Friday's low. IGV is another one we've been watching for weeks here. Another one. If it can take out Friday's high, I like it as a put spread. For directional, I wanted to get a little bit higher. This bar is 83.40. I have alarms. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Thomas, that looks great. I scanned all the 1, 2, 3s, bull and bear, and it was not on the list. Because had I seen that, I would have posted that. Really cool. BTSG. So let's put that there. And I love when they gap down a little bit. It shows that they'll gapping up a little bit. VIAV. It's sloppier, but bullish. Sloppier. It's not quality enough for me. BTSG is superior. Corning, we mentioned that. Munster. Munster is a breakout trade. Friday's high. AXP is a put spread idea, but there was not enough juice. GCO. That looks good. It's breakout. Went sideways for 3 weeks. DLB looks like a continuation short down to 62. Regional banks sold. That looks like, 200 bucks, right? In alignment with that gap fill, or it's 199. Tomo over those 3-bar high, I like. Shoe has earnings this week. This is wrong, but if it trades under Thursday's low, that's a short. Crocs, it's sloppy bull rectangle. Holding well after that earnings gap. And we got the Qs bouncing here a little bit. A DLB alarm. DLB, there you go. You can short a 5-minute low on that. All right, Qs here popping here in the last 5 minutes or so. Microsoft weak, Nvidia strong. Nvidia has earnings on Wednesday, but that's moving on uptown. I wonder if that's kind of a little bit of advanced bias for earnings. B Bravo, you can buy Friday's high. PIAV, we look WSFS. Another little regional bank. I didn't like that tail right there, and then 20 is far from the 50, but not bad. Shoe under Thursday's low, I mentioned. Clack. I don't like the way that stock trades. UGL. Yeah. All right, the BTSG that looked fantastic. Now I'll set an alarm at 31. I'm sorry, 41. KRE alarms. The regional banks are moving. Wow, diamonds just filled the freaking gap. What is moving there? Goldman, so banks are moving. Citigroup. Yeah, Greg, we were talking about Citigroup. Up alarms. We got a call spread. Spiders filled the gap.
NIO, cheapy one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big old bottoming pattern, bullish weekly, monthly.
Lowe's Corp. I like it. L. Maybe get a retracement or sideways, but stop under yesterday's low. CB, let it trade 15 minutes or what have you.
Yeah, L, yeah, that's a bull flag. Sure.
CB is just, I don't think it cleared all the highs, but it's right there. Went on a pullback.
Bravo, I'll put there. Well, it's SPSC. Look at that. Say that. See how we use that word potent all the time on turns. Look at the power of that move. It was a climb up, but you had zero potent turn. And now you got new lows. Food is weak, gold is strong.